A while back, someone commented on one of my videos asking if I could do a breakdown of Take a Break from the musical Hamilton by Manuel Miranda. What I'm going to do, because I don't know where this commenter is at skill-wise on the piano, is I'm going to kind of do this in variable steps, so hopefully that'll make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to do this in 5 steps, and these aren't the definitive 5 steps of how you should learn any song or anything. This is just kind of my approach if I'm learning a new song. Usually, depending on the type of song it is, these are the sorts of pieces that I try and fit together to learn the whole thing. So the first thing that I usually think about is what's the hook? So what's the thing that really draws in your ear, that really makes anyone in the room know exactly what I'm playing? What's the most interesting thing, the most recognizable part? For instance, on another song, if I play this, everyone immediately knows what I'm playing. With this one, I'm not exactly sure what that hook is, but for me, I can say what drew me in, and so that's the first thing that I'm immediately going, oh, I'm gonna learn that part, because that part draws me in, and so hopefully it'll draw in whoever's listening. So that's this little recurring motif with this arpeggiated chord. And I'm gonna put an above view version of this at the end for all of these, so it's a little bit easier. But the first thing I'm going to work on is learning this arpeggiated chord that goes throughout various parts of this song. So it starts on a C sharp minor, 7. There's also like an added 4, or you could think of it as a passing tone. So it just goes up and down. And so it's C sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, and B. Then it changes to a B on the bottom. And that's really forming like an E2 sort of thing. But all you have to do is shift your thumb down to that B. And then it shifts back up to the C sharp. Back down to the B. And then this is where it gets a little bit trickier. It goes, it starts it, restarts it, and then back to the beginning. So that's just B, G sharp, F sharp, back to B, G sharp, F sharp, E, D sharp, C sharp. So all together, and so that's the hook. Now the next thing that I'm gonna do is actually just adding in a bass part. You're gonna start on a C sharp, you'll go up to an E, down to a G sharp, up to an A, C natural, C sharp. So we'll start on C sharp, move to E, and it's going to go down to G sharp, back up to A, and then to C. Just like that, and then back around to C sharp. One thing that can be tricky with this part, it's just the rhythm of that C. It's a very Lynn type of thing to do. I haven't played Hamilton, I'm not as familiar with that, but I've played In the Heights. And there's a lot of similarities musically and just kind of how he does his writing. So it's a C sharp, E, down to a G sharp. It's really like a C sharp minor over G sharp, up to an A, and that C chord, it's not really a C. It's more of a, it's really kind of making a G sharp type of sound, G sharp augmented. When you go up to that, it's on the and of 3. So it's kind of an odd rhythm, and it's a little bit difficult to place right where it's supposed to be, right where he plays it. I remember struggling with these progressions when I played In the Heights, because I don't hear chord progressions that way very often, and so it's really not where my ear wanted to put that chord placement. I wanted to put it on 4 or like the E of 3, but it's on the and of 3. So it's so it's a little weird. Listen to it enough times, isolate one hand or the other, and I think you'll be able to pick that up. So the next thing I'll do is I'm then gonna just try to look at different parts of the structure that maybe I haven't looked at. This is where I'm maybe going to look at the intro or the chorus, so we're going to get into that. What this utilizes is it's moving in thirds up the E scale, and then it kind of switches to like an A minor, or you could really think of it as an E minor scale. It kind of goes back and forth between E major and E minor, which gives it this unstable feeling. So that's like one of those elements that you could learn that's a little bit extra. The other one that you definitely want to learn, which is arguably actually the most important, is the chorus. So the chorus is just this little melody. Right, so it's just using that E pentatonic scale pretty much the whole time. So it's just 5 notes. So now what I would do is just add in the chords to the chorus. That's going to be pretty straightforward. It's just an E chord, it goes to a B, then it goes to a C sharp minor, then it goes to this, it's different people would probably describe this differently. You could think of it as a C sharp minor 7 over F sharp, or you could think of it as an F sharp 9 sus. Kind of depends. It's just a C sharp minor 7 over F sharp. And then it resolves down to an F sharp minor 7. So together it sounds like this. So that's how the chorus goes. Then the last step to me, voicing, upper extension, harmonic elements, add in like a 2. He adds in a 2 to the chorus on the E. The B, it's really a B4, so he adds in that E, which is also super pop piano style. C sharp minor is mostly a C sharp minor, and there's this last chord at the end. So we're just adding in those little elements that can elevate the sound and make it sound a lot more sophisticated than if we're just going. And that's fine, it sounds nice and it's a great starting point, but as we develop and try and learn the song more fully, we'll definitely want to add in those extra elements. Well, hopefully that was helpful, and hopefully you can take at least one of those parts and try and learn that. I'll give an above view at the end, so hopefully it'll be a little bit easier that way. And thanks for watching.